Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of the Spurs Chat podcast. In this edition, we'll be talking about a win. Of course, it's the last win of the year. Spurs remain fifth in the Premier League table, but we are only 3 points away from top spot. Now, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on X. So please do get involved. Give us your thoughts on today's game in the comments section. And remember, all of these podcasts are available on all major audio platforms. So, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Bournemouth 1. Sarr put Spurs 1-0 up after 9 minutes. Heung-min Son doubled our lead after 71 minutes. Richarlison made it 3 after 80 minutes. And then Scott got one back for Bournemouth in the 84th minute. Now, the match stats. Tottenham Hotspur had 51% of the ball to Bournemouth's 49%. Shots, Spurs had 12 to Bournemouth's whopping 24 shots. Shots on target, Spurs 6, Bournemouth 4. Corners, 4 to Tottenham, 13 to Bournemouth. Fouls, Spurs 9, Bournemouth 18. As per usual, I've got 3 very special guests with me. Back on the show, channel regular, Richard Whitehead, MBE. Rich, how are you?
How's it going? Yeah, always happy after a win. That was a tough watch in certain periods, but come on, you Spurs. End of 2023 with a win. Come on. Well,
we're all smiling, and as I said, we're only 3 points away from top spot. Back with us for the first time this season, we've got singer and actor Leo the Lion. Leo, great to have you here. How are you, mate?
Great, man. You know, it's a great win for the great new year that we're about to have on the hand.
Who?
Who's this guy? Yeah. On the big Ange. So yeah, great win today. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Spurs chat. But thank you for having me today.
Pleasure. And also back with us for the first time this season is Simone, of course, Italian journalist. Simone, how are you?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. Always a pleasure to be part of your team, mate.
Pleasure to have you on again. Simone, let's start the game. Let's start the game. I was going to say, let's start the show with you. Your thoughts on today's game, because I thought it was a very, very important win for Tottenham. Of course, bouncing back after that Brighton defeat on Thursday evening. Of course, we've got so many injuries. It was lovely to have Bentancur back today. Of course, we'll talk about that in a short while. But a really, really important win because Bournemouth are a tough side. They had plenty of chances, as I've just read those match stats out there. And before today, 6 wins and 1 draw in their past 7 games. So a very, very important win for Tottenham.
Yeah, 6 wins and 1 draws in the last 7 games for them. And we're talking about someone that was really, really running up their league. What a win for Tottenham. What a win. Spurs are really right there in order to find this place. Top 4. Everyone knows that Daniel Levy really wants his team to finish in top 4. And with a Man United struggling, just like this season, with a Newcastle struggling, just like we are looking at this season. And we are really, really looking at someone that could be very, very interesting for Spurs this season.
I should have mentioned, actually, one other game took place in the Premier League this afternoon. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. Rich, let's get your thoughts on today's game.
Yeah! It's always a great weekend when we win and they lose. Right?
Absolutely.
Always.
Rich, I thought they were title contenders. We're only 1 point behind them.
1 point.
Yeah.
I know. Bottle jobs, that's what they are.
Bottle
jobs. Yeah, Spursy, man. Yeah, that's definitely Spursy. But today's result was so important because obviously from that Brighton game, which was like 5-a-side football, like an old kind of video game, like sensible soccer when you're playing and it's like 10-10. One of those games. It was ridiculous. And today we needed to win. And when we did, we had to win ugly. It wasn't good. We weren't good in possession. In certain parts, we weren't good out of possession. But it was great to get the 3 points. And now at the end of 2023, we're in a great place with Ange, not Poch, with Ange. And we can move forwards. But it's a great feeling for sure.
Rich, can you quite believe that we are only 3 points away from top spot?
Without a centre back, a centre back that's obviously fit, and then Dye comes on, and then we concede. You know what I mean? Literally. But we need to. I remember Richy saying when we last spoke about putting a plaster over a wound, and that's what they're doing. We're putting Davis and Royale in those centre backs. We need to have not just two first team centre backs, but we need to have centre backs that come into those positions when injuries or suspensions happen. And to be 1 point behind Arsenal, 3 points off the top, crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Every other team's dropping points, and the only team that's obviously winning at the moment is Aston Villa. They just seem to be like picking points left, right, and centre. But yeah, really pleased with today's result. A lot of people kind of dug in. Davis again dug in. I'm not his biggest fan, but dug in and just showed some real fight today. And I think what Ange would have said after the game on Thursday was, the next game at home, we're at home. We've got our home fans. We need to use the fans to get over the line, but it needs to be about fight. And that's what definitely was today.
Leo, let's come to you. Let's get your thoughts on today's game, because that was a massive 3 points in my opinion.
Yeah, just like the guys were saying, it was really important that we got these points there, especially the fact that we lost the previous game. It's like we needed to win. We, especially coming into the new year, and just put pressure on just us trying to get into the top four. Let alone what Richy is talking about. Even thinking about the top of the league, but the fact that we're still in the mix. And if someone had told me before this whole season has kicked off that we would Ange would have won 3 managers of the months, we'll be 1 point from the champions, I'll be thinking, oh my God, I will take that all day long. We've won 4 games now with 5, which is fantastic. And yeah, I thought today was, that Richard said it was a tough watch. I don't think it was the best that we've played this season at all. It was quite tense watching this game, but we pulled through. We came through in the end. We got the 3 points, which is what it's all about, regardless of how you play. When the final whistle goes, are the points on the board? Yes or no? And we did that today. So I'm happy, and I'm just looking forward to the window now, which is now open, so we can now do some magic.
Leo, let's stay with you, because your first time on the channel this season under Ange Postecoglou. What have you made of Ange and the impact that he has had at this football club? Because at the halfway point, we're, as we've all said, we're only 3 points away from top spot. It makes games like today so important, because we've got so many players out injured. Of course, as I said earlier, great to have Bentancur back, but the injury list is enormous. Sarr went off injured today. Lloris went off injured as well. So we await confirmation about those injuries. But, how are you feeling under Ange Postecoglou? Because I don't know whether it's just me, but I go into every single game now, going to the stadium thinking we're going to win. Yeah,
absolutely. The funny thing is, and okay, I've not been here. This is my first time here. But when they announced that Ange was coming in, I was like, who is this bloke? Because as everyone, I'm sure everyone's like, who is this geezer? I thought we were going for this one. Now we're going for basement bin management. Like, what's going on, right? And then, I was doing my research. I started looking at Celtic, and I was listening to all the fans saying, Spurs fans, don't worry. You got this guy is going to deliver. He is the truth. He does this, he does that. And I was quietly getting confident. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, if these people are saying something, but maybe, right? But this is the Premiership, and the Premiership is not the Scottish League, right? But something during that whole summer process, I was getting a little bit of belief. And then when we played that first game, it was the European game that we played. I think it was against West Ham. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? Right? The football, the flow, the one-touch passing, everything was delicious. And I said to myself, this is the first time in God knows how many years where I've seen my team play football. Even though we lost that game, I felt like we won. I felt like we actually won. And then throughout the whole process, since watching all the games this season, obviously we did that whole 10-game run, which was incredible. The best football that I've seen Spurs play in a long while. The players that we had with Maddison in there. When we had our first team with Van der Ven, we looked unbeatable. The football was fast. We were battering teams. When we played Chelsea, the first 20 minutes, we were just all over them. I was proud. I was sitting there watching the game. I was tic-tac football. It was incredible. And then obviously, you know what happened in that game. Everything just went, it was just like rug pull, right? So many injuries came in. But even still, the fact that we kept losing these games, the football was fantastic. And I didn't mind. Obviously, no one likes to lose. But the fact that the football was free-flowing, the chances that we were creating, all I was thinking was, if we had the right players there, we'll be battering these teams. If we had the right personnel during that whole process when we were losing, we wouldn't have lost. I don't believe it, because the football that we were playing was exceptional. So I have to give it to Ange. I have to, applaud him for what he's achieved in such a short space of time right now. And I know deep in my heart that when we get our players back, like who was it? Who said that if we were winning, we would be top of the league? If we had all our players back, we'd be top of the league. Yeah.
Well, we've all said it.
I've said it. You know, yeah. I honestly believe that. We're getting our players back. We're getting our players back, and we will get our players back, and we'll improve on the players that we had with Maddison and Van de Ven, and hopefully another defenders. But I honestly believe in my heart of hearts, for so many years, that when we get our team, we have a great chance of doing some magic under Ange. Absolutely. And it's not, I don't wear goggle fan eyes. I don't do it, right? I'm very critical of this team. But for the first time in ages, this is the first time where I actually feel confident. We got win or lose, I don't care. We lost last week. And my friend said to me, oh, you guys lost. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. We don't have our players. When we get our players back, let's talk then. You know, and so, yeah, it's fantastic.
Leo, you have been excited on this podcast in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I
because I saw the potential, Chris.
Yeah,
I see the potential. That's why.
Do you know the interesting stat you mentioned there, Van de Ven and Maddison? We've only had them for 10 Premier League games out of 20. So we've had them for 10 and not had them for 10. So you imagine if they were in the team for these other 10 games, what we could have done. I'm sure, I'm with you. We would be sitting top of the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I love your term, delicious football under Ange Postecoglou. I'm going to steal that. And I love that. Simone, let's come to you because, of course, I know you're a big Antonio Conte fan. You know, the difference in this stadium, it is like a party atmosphere. I say this every single week, but again, it's like a party. Like, I've just uploaded a video at the end of the game, the players coming off the pitch. The scenes, the fans are just ecstatic. They're so happy to see this type of football and to see us winning on a consistent basis. Only 3 points away from the top spot in the Premier League right now. I know you're a big Antonio Conte fan, but talk me through the difference from Conte ball to Ange ball.
First of all, I'm not a big Antonio Conte fan.
You're not now, then.
You did your research.
Some of my guys, Antonio wrote some of my best pages as a journalist in Italy and as well in England. So I really, really rate him still a lot. But of course, I'm not a big fan of Antonio Conte. I'm a big fan of Big Ange because Big Ange is a love story, and Tottenham needed that. Tottenham needed a new love story, a new way to play an offensive football, an entertaining football, the famous Tottenham way. And I'm really delighted to see also the way the crowds really like the way Ange Postecoglou's teams are playing the way of football. So I'm really delighted. So in order to answer to the question, Chris, Spurs are really growing up right now, and this is a process. And a process is not something that you are gonna build in one day. You need time. Time, and this team is already playing an incredible football, a fantastic football, but they need to improve, and everything can happen. Sky is just the limit, and if maybe one day in 4 months, 5 months, Spurs will be able to finish into top 4, it's gonna be an incredible achievement for everyone at the club.
Two very quick questions for you all. Who was your man of the match, and who do you think is going to win the Premier League this season? Simone, let's start with you.
Who's gonna win the Premier League this season, Chris? Very, very difficult answer. I will never say Man City will be out of the bottle. For me, it's a top three battle between Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. Maybe the new Liverpool will be there with Man City. I will be again for Pep Guardiola, guys. So I hope, at least I hope, because of course I will never want Arsenal to win the Premier League. So I will hope one of Man City or Liverpool will win the title.
And the man of the match today?
Man of the match today, very few question, mate, because I saw many man of the match today, because Pedro was incredible, and Sarr before the injury was incredible. I will say Brennan, guys. I will say Brennan Johnson, because he was the one that always during the game provided his teammates many chances to score. So maybe it wasn't, to be honest, the best game of Brennan Johnson, but he was the one that today really, how could I say, really broke the dimension of Bournemouth. So I will go for Brennan Johnson, guys.
I can just see Leo thinking, shall I say Tottenham to win the league? I can tell what Leo's thinking. I tell you what, I'm going to say my man of the match today, Lo Celso. I think that Lo Celso had the best game in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt that I have seen. Yeah. And I'm not Lo Celso's biggest fan. I think a lot of people know that, but it's about grabbing opportunities. You know, Ange said the other day that going out the team was all about an injury, not by choice. And it's about grabbing opportunities. And I think Lo Celso's certainly done that today. Rich, who's going to win the league and who was your man of the match?
Yeah, I've continued to say Liverpool for the league. And I thought that Man City wouldn't win it this year from day one. And I thought Liverpool might be the team to take over. Man of the match, I agree with you. I think Lo Celso, great game. Vision. I was on the ball for all the time that he was on the pitch. Sometimes when you watch Lo Celso, he switches off and he can go 5 or 10 minutes where he's not touching the ball, not engaging, walking, and it's like you're playing with a man down. Today he was really engaged. I think him and Benzema worked well, and Sarr as well, brilliant in midfield. Davis also had a good game. I think you've got to kind of put the praise on Davis and Royale in those positions. They're obviously filling in for other people's injuries and suspensions. So great game by those two. But yeah, for me, Lo Celso.
I agree, Rich. I think Ben Davies was absolutely brilliant again today, and he has been one of the standout players actually under Ange Postecoglou. I know a lot of people won't like to say that, but that is the truth. That is exactly how I see it. Leo, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said it. You know, for me, it was Lo Celso. You know, I read an article earlier this week when he was talking about how he really is enjoying training and under Ange, and he said he really liked to
play.
Stop doing that. I don't know what's wrong with me. And basically, he's really relishing playing at the number 8 role. You know, he's really and he gets to have a lot of the ball. And today he played really well. You know, he when he first signed, I really wanted him to do well because, you know, I felt that he could be someone that can bring something to the Spurs team when he signed. And obviously he's had his injuries and not been in the team. But, you know, since he's come back today, I thought he played very, very, very well. Yes, Davies as well. You know, he played well, you know, obviously filling in for the defenders that that are currently unavailable, but you know, he's been solid throughout. He's been consistently playing very, very well. So we've got to take our hats off to him. But Lo Celso for me, I would say just edge, especially with that outside of the foot pass that he did to Son for the 3rd goal. You know, I thought it was brilliant. So I'll give it to him. As far as who's going to win the title, I think, do you know what's so funny? A lot of people have said Man City, even though when Man City were like 5th or wherever they were, a lot of people say Man City are going to win. And Arsenal were probably 6 or 9 points clear. But yeah, I would still go for Man City, just purely based on today's results with Arsenal losing 2. I just felt like this weekend was a great opportunity for whoever was going to win it to grab that opportunity. And only Liverpool were able to do that. And Arsenal dropped six points, really, you know, and which is huge, you know, in space of a week, basically. So based on that, I would say Man City, because Man City have come back and won 2 straight games. So I will go with Man City first, Liverpool, and then I'm going to say we're not going to win the league, but I might, hopefully I'm saying 3rd. There you go. I said it.
Guys,
Talk to me.
I want to underline that Ben Davies has been absolutely good for Tottenham in the last previous months, because Ben Davies deserves a lot. Ben Davies is the one that he has been playing for Spurs for 10 years, guys. Yeah. 10 years. So we are talking about someone just like Hugo Lloris, and he's been incredible. Maybe he's not a top player, but he's someone that always give you 100% of his characteristics, and this is. We are talking about a real player that provides wills, of course, as well, something great to reach the World Cup. And really, I'm really happy to see Ben Davies playing at these levels, because, of course, it all depends on the way you want your football to play. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte are the likes that wants to play Ben Davies as a left back, Ben Davies left as a center back, left-footed. But this season with Big Ange, he has been playing an incredible football as a center back, and I'm delighted. I'm really delighted to see him playing this way, because I think that he's a guy that deserves a lot, really a lot. And he's surely 100% Tottenham Hotspur DNA, and I'm delighted to see these things in football.
Well, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Liverpool, of course, are top at the moment with 42 points from 19 games. Aston Villa are second, 42 points from 20 matches. Manchester City are in third, 40 points from 19 matches. Arsenal are fourth, 40 points from 20 matches. And Spurs are fifth, played 20, won 12, drawn 3, lost 5, have a goal difference of plus 13. We have 39 points. Now, Richard, let's come to you. Let's talk about the starting 11, because, of course, Rodrigo Bentancur, bit of a shock today for a lot of people. He was back in the starting 11. Of course, Kulusevski was suspended. Injuries galore to this Tottenham Hotspur squad, but this was our starting 11. Vicario, Porro, Emerson, Davis, Udogie, Bentancur, Sarr, Lo Celso, Johnson, Richarlison, and Son. And subs today: Forster, Dyer, Dorrington, Phillips, Skip, Højbjerg, Donnelly, Brian Hill, and Velez. Any surprises there for you apart from Bentancur coming back?
Well, I don't think that we should have been surprised about Bentancur either, because his missus on social media put he's back, and I'm like going, "Whoa, she must have known."
You followed his missus, Richard.
But,
what are you stalking? Are you stalking his missus?
I see everything. Stop putting that bad language on social media.
Is that the thing that we need to do now? Follow the family
Follow
members?
the missus. No. When you say follow her, do you follow her?
No, I don't follow her.
Or you actually followed her like a
stalker?
stalker?
No. Somebody else had put that. She'd put he's back. So I thought that. Well, he's obviously back in the team then. Never mind, just back playing.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of is a real message of intent, isn't it? It's a real message. Having somebody like that in the team that's been out for so long, I think for me the frustrating thing is that obviously we've still got centre backs on the bench that aren't playing, and why Phillips isn't getting a look in. Maybe he's just not ready yet. And obviously, clearly, Dyer's on the way out, isn't he? He's on the way out the door in January. So I think trying not to get him injured so we can actually sell him or get rid of him on a free is the key, I think. And I think the starting 11, picked itself after the last game. I know it was obviously a disappointing result against Brighton, but Ange would have said, look, let's kind of start afresh, learn from the mistakes of that game, and kind of show us what you're actually really made of. And obviously Bentancur giving us a little bit more fight in midfield.
Now, I know we've spoken a little bit about Giovanni Lo Celso. In his press conference, Ange Postecoglou has literally said in the last couple of minutes, Gio is great. He's been great for the past few weeks. We needed someone to step up, and Gio was great today. You could see his passes through, and the one to Sonny was outstanding. Leo, about Giovanni Lo Celso, he's had a pretty hard time since he arrived at Spurs. He's gone out on loan as well. He's played under various different managers. Is this Giovanni Lo Celso's time to shine at Tottenham and really make a stake in this first team, in the starting 11?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great opportunity for him, to step into an opportunity where he can shine. We've got so many injuries that we have. Everyone's going away to their tournaments in January. Injuries, suspensions, you name it. This is the opportunity for him to say to Spurs fans and to Ange, listen, I'm here to stay. I'm going to show you what I can do. I'm going to have a run of games where I'm going to be able to deliver that, And today was a great testament for that argument, for his display. And so if I was him, I'll be thinking, okay, good. Bentancur's coming back, so the team's going to be good. Basuma's out. Sarr might be out. This is a great opportunity for me to grab the thing, the horns by the bells, or the bells by the horns, or the horns by the whatever it is that saying is. But this is a great opportunity for me to come in and show everyone what I'm capable of doing. So yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd be chuffed.
Right, let's come on to the match instance. Simone, let's start with you. After 2 minutes, Tottenham Hotspur had a chance. Brennan Johnson crossed. Heung-min Son hit it wide. It was then offside. 4 minutes gone. Richarlison shot over the bar. It was a good opening few minutes for Tottenham.
Yeah, definitely. The set was absolutely great. But I would like to underline, stress once again, the importance of Gio Lo Celso in this win, because he's a guy that deserves a lot, just like Leo was saying. He's a guy that deserves a lot because he was linked to another long deal, but it all depends on the way you want to play football, because in terms of playing attractive football, both Conte and Mourinho were not the managers for him, and we are seeing the right Gio. Of course, we are waiting for the comeback of for me, the greatest player of Tottenham, just like James Maddison. But Gio deserves a lot of credit. So I'm looking forward to see much more for him, because I know he's a very good player, guys. He's an Argentinian international. He can play in every position in midfielder. So I really do rate him a lot.
Simone, it wouldn't be right if I didn't ask you about goalkeeper Vicario, because, of course, you're an Italian journalist. You've seen Vicario play for years. Yeah. An outstanding goalkeeper. I know we're going to talk about Hugo Lloris shortly, but we've lost, a superb goalkeeper, a legend. But, a goalkeeper between the sticks right now is incredible.
Well, of course, there is a story between Menu and I didn't rate a lot the transfers of Bentancur and Kulusevski. Then Bentancur become one of the greatest players in the last couple of years of Tottenham. But Vicario, we already knew it was ready. He was ready for the best platform in football. So Premier League, of course, is Premier League. Tottenham is Tottenham. So it was a monster. It was a monster in Serie A. So we were in Italy discussing why he entered the Milan, the same Juventus didn't want to sign him. 20 million pounds. 20 million pounds for Vicario, guys, was a gift. Was a gift. Tottenham, maybe, and we need to thank Fabio Paratici for that, maybe, because he still has a role in Tottenham, not officially, but in terms of consultancies. Really, Tottenham was perfect in terms of we are looking someone new in goalkeeper after 12 years of Lloris. Vicari was the perfect fit because he has got everything, absolutely everything. Italian goalkeepers, guys, are some of the best in the world, and when you go there and you are gonna try to buy some of them, you will always get the right answer for them.
Rich, let's come to you. After 7 minutes, Bournemouth had their first chance of the game. Solanke didn't quite get hold of it when a cross come in. And then just 2 minutes later, Tottenham Hotspur took the lead through Sarr. A really good finish from Sarr, but excellent pressing from Bentancur, and Lo Celso won the ball back. Again, another great part of Lo Celso's game, winning the ball back. And as you mentioned, Leo, that we'll come on to, that assist for Heung-min Son's goal, incredible. But Rich, we don't know obviously the extent of Sarr's injury right now, which we'll come to, but what a finish from the midfielder.
Yeah, and last couple of games he's had opportunities to finish like that as well, and either not taken them or it just not fallen his way. So it was great build-up play, and you could see how the goal was being set up, and then obviously just to put that in the left-hand corner is a beautiful strike, and much deserved for a player that's obviously puts his heart and soul into the team, runs for everything, every ball. He's a great part of the team. I think initially when Ange was obviously talking about Sarr being in the starting 11, Spurs fans were like, can't really see how he'd fit or how he'd move the team forward. But what an engine he's got! What an engine! He's obviously got great personality, great relationship with Sonny and some of the other players, and you can really see that he loves playing football at the moment, and he's growing within the role as well. He's becoming a real leader on the pitch.
Now, in Ange Postecoglou's press conference, he's just literally said the win is very pleasing. There was a bit of everything today, and we needed a bit of everything. Some of our football was good. We had to show some resilience and character. Again, a massive physical effort. He then went on to say the way these players keep giving maximum effort is a credit to them. Leo, let's come to you. Excellent defending from Destiny Udogie after 13 minutes. One of the Bournemouth players through. Yeah. Destiny Udogie seemed to come out of nowhere and cleared it up. Another player in his debut season in the Premier League for Tottenham seems to deliver week in, week out.
Mate, we signed him a few seasons ago, and we obviously went on loan. And a lot of people were saying, no, Udogie is the truth. He's the real deal, And obviously, I didn't watch him when he was over there, but I kept hearing that he was a great player, strong and everything like that. And so obviously, when we started off this season, it was his first time playing, and Ange put a whole new backline. And instantly, you can just see the power that he has, the pace, the strength, the way that he's able to shield players and take the ball and be able to make good passes, good runs. He's such a powerful player. And when he doesn't play, you can see the big gap. You can see what we're missing and that's how powerful that's how much impact that he's had when he plays. The fact that if he misses a game, you can definitely see that gap. You can definitely see that gulf in class and stuff like that. And so, the fact that I saw the ball went through and the pace that he took to be able to catch up the striker and be able to win the ball. If that had been any other player, that could have been 1-1. And that's the difference between having your first team than having your squad, your second or third team players playing in, and that's why I believe, like I said, obviously once we have our first team players back, it's a whole different team. But yeah, Udogie, incredible player. I love him. Every time he gets the ball, I feel confident that he's going to do something.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Leo. Guys, there is a big difference between. I got to know this guy very well, Destiny Udogie, because he was playing for Serie A side Udinese last season and in the previous season, but I didn't see that kind of potential evolution of this guy. This guy watching Tottenham right now, this guy is key, absolutely key. Yeah. I don't know if one day Ryan Sessegnon will recover from his injury, but I really rate him a lot, and I didn't expect this kind of evolution because in Italian football, guys, Destiny Udogie never, and I would say never, let us think about this kind of evolution. So I'm really delighted to see the way he's playing right now. And this is a different, and there is a difference when Tottenham plays with Udogie and Tottenham plays without Udogie. So absolutely, I agree with you were saying, Leo.
Yeah.
Another update from Postecoglou on Pape Matar and the Vélez injuries. He said it's hard to say. Pape felt his hamstring and he's emotional because he wants to go away with his national team. It is expected that all three players, Sarr, Son and Basuma, will be going off sometime tomorrow to their respective countries for their competitions. Rich, let's come to you because just want to stay with Destiny Udogie for a second because there was a chance in the 18th minute. Emerson ended up shooting from 20 yards. The goalkeeper made a save. But before that, Udogie had a chance to shoot. He received the ball from Heung-min Son, had the chance to shoot, but didn't. Is that one of the areas where you think Destiny Udogie could improve his game? And as a whole, I think I've mentioned this on a number of podcasts this season, where sometimes we are literally trying to walk the ball in rather than having a shot when we're in the box.
Yeah, I don't know the percentages of goals inside to outside the box, but it's like that we're trying to have that perfect goal and kind of working it across the box, obviously onto our wingers cross it in, and then like today, obviously Richarlison putting it into the back of the net through the goalie's legs. Those kind of goals are obviously what they're looking for, and I think what we need to also is we need to be more than a one-dimensional team and utilise the areas that teams are giving us. So if they're giving us those areas at the edge of the box, then we need to be taking them. And up to now, we've had those opportunities, especially Kulusevski as well. He's had a couple where I thought he might be a little bit more prolific this season, but hasn't taken those opportunities. But it's coming though, isn't it? It's coming. It's a process, and Ange said that at the start of the season that we're going to have times in the season where we do suffer, and we've had those already. Obviously, in November when we were really struggling to win a game, and for me, I think the evolution of the Spurs team, it's happening, and it's happening. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? And I think the Spurs team will take multiple transfer windows to get the right kind of layers of players in place to be able to deliver. And also with that, the layers of coaching that enables the players to be confident to take the best opportunity and make that best decision at that best time. And I'm feeling the younger players are the ones that are going to be the players that raises the team. So the Ndoggies, the Sarrs of this world, they're going to be the ones that really do elevate the Spurs team, I think.
Can I just say something? Just talking about Udogie. You said about he got into the opportunity to score that goal. I mean, put it this way: if Udogie scored that goal, for me, potentially he'll probably be the best left back in the Prem. Because for you to say he should have scored that or scored that, that's, I don't want to say greedy, but it's like he's so powerful. He runs with the ball. No, I'm not having a dig at all. I think it's a compliment what you said.
What I meant, Leo, is I seem to say the same thing on a lot of these podcasts this season where, and I think Ange has alluded to it in his press conferences as well, there is so much more to come in that final third.
Exactly.
Literally, we're trying to walk the ball in sometimes rather than some players having a shot when they've received the ball quickly.
Absolutely. But we're talking about Udogie being in the position to have that striker mentality because he's not a striker. And so if it was a striker, you'd say, okay, for sure, why didn't you take the shot? Yeah. But for what Udogie brings to the team as a left back or playing the way he's playing, power, the ability to hold the ball, to cut inside, to play, to carry the ball forward. I mean, that time when he was running near the half of the pitch and he got fouled and got up and kept running again. That is a powerful player. And if we were to add that goal scoring attribute to him, so when he does get into those positions, he does take the shot. We're talking about a player that's going to be playing for Real Madrid. That is the level we're talking about. If you were going to add that attribute, that goal striking attribute to him, and I agree with you. It's a process, and hopefully he does have the ability to do that. I think there was a game earlier in the season where the ball came through and he was clear 1-on-1 and he wasn't able to bring the ball down and he kind of fluffed it. But if he had that striker's mentality or that shooting mentality and he was able to pull the ball down and shoot, and he did it again today, what are we talking about? This guy would be incredible. This would be like the best player.
But we can see the guys
you want a fullback. You want the fullback midfield forward. That's it. It's greed. Why did you score, you doggy? It's like, mate.
You Doggy and Poro all season have been all over the place. So
incredible.
As his comment says here, fullback, midfielder, forward. You know, they do it all because
what do you want?
Because of the way that Ange sets us up. It's fantastic. Smokey, let's come to you. After 25 minutes, Heung-min Son was running at goal. He did look up to see Brennan Johnson, but he wasn't in a terrific position. Heung-min Son ended up shooting it. It hit the goalkeeper's legs and rebounded out. After 29 minutes, Bournemouth had a chance, and then Solanke headed wide. Now, Spurs have been heavily linked to Solanke. What do you make of him today?
You know, in terms of playing attacking football, it's not difficult to play against Tottenham because Tottenham concede you, at least on the first season of under big Ange Postecoglou, concede you a lot of chances. So as a striker, it could be easy to play against Tottenham. I like Solanke. I don't think he's as one of the best strikers in the Prem, but I think he's good. He's good. Is Tottenham know how to improve? Of course, you know, next season Tottenham, no one is just like Harry Kane. So, but if you want to improve, if you really want to add something new to your squad, maybe it's time to think about a new striker with different characteristics than Richarlison or Sonny. So we are talking about a place, the attack that Tottenham needs to improve. Solanke could be an option, but I think that in Europe there are many players that can improve Big Ange's roster more than Solanke. And I'm talking about, for example, Seru Girassi from Stuttgart or the like of Santiago Jimenez that I got to know. Definitely that Spurs sent scouts every week to see his development week in and week out. So, of course, in the new season, 2024-2025, Spurs will have a new option on the attack. The speech, I would say that I couldn't agree more with what Leo was saying about Destiny Dodgy, because we are talking about someone that he really deserves a lot because he works hard. Definitely needs to improve in terms of playing in a team that don't have the ball, but we are really talking about one of the greatest left back, and definitely, guys, for sure, has been our greatest left back since Danny Rose left the club 5 years ago.
Rich, let's come to you. In the 32nd minute, Sarr went off. Oliver Skip coming on. That is going to be a big loss to Senegal, isn't it? If Pape Matar Sarr don't go to the competition, and of course, it's going to be heartbreak for him.
Yeah, for sure. Missing a big tournament like that you've set your heart on, devastating. And obviously, depending on the scale of that hamstring injury, if it's a 1, 2, or 3 tear, or it's just a strain, that could have ramifications weeks into months. So we need to obviously fingers crossed and hopefully it's something that keeps them out for days, not weeks or months. And for a young player as well, you don't want to have a bad hamstring tear, because the rehabilitation from that is something that you need to do it really carefully, because you don't want that to reoccur this season and in the player's future. And obviously, it's satellite the Premier League and the team this season. And you could see how devastated he was when he came off. And also knowing the impact of that injury. I think a lot of the time you can tell on the player's face the impact of that injury, not just on themselves, but also on their future involvement within the game. And then Skippy came on and actually did a reasonable job, to be honest, and slotted in there, not with the same drive and running ability, but he was definitely solid today.
Rich, let's stay with you, because in the 34th minute, Bournemouth had a corner. They headed over the bar. 6 minutes later, they had a free kick just wide of the post. A minute later, another header just wide. Just before half-time, another chance at Bournemouth just wide. 7 minutes went on the clock. Solanke had a shot deflected, hit the bar. Ben Davies with a block. Fantastic block, by the way. Lo Celso with a block just before the break. At that point, Bournemouth had a really, really good spell just before half-time. I think half-time came at the right time for Spurs. How are you feeling at that half-time break 1-0 up?
Yeah, well, they were peppering us, really. It was coming all over the shop. It was, yeah. I was like going, oh, my goodness. Like, that's it, blow that whistle, man. And I think what happens is the momentum's with that other team, and then everything's going in the other team's favour. And the fall of the ball was, but then you realise the quality difference. And this is where, for me, I don't think, if there was interest from Spurs, apart from him being a player that we could utilise in Europe as a homegrown player, as one of our homegrown places in the team, I don't think he is good enough to go up to the next level that we would want, and Ange would want for him to be a first team starter or have an impact on the Premier League. He's gone to clubs bigger than obviously Bournemouth in the past, not really made it. Maybe that was a little bit too soon for him. I think at the moment, like a lot of strikers, a lot of players, they have parts in their career where they have a real good purple patch, and then you just start getting linked with every team, like nationally and internationally. And I think he's in that obviously that world at the moment where he's had a good couple of months, scored plenty of goals, and now he's getting linked to the possibility of moving away from Bournemouth. He did have 8 opportunities, good opportunities today, and didn't take any of them. So that for me screams Richarlison ×2. So we don't want another one of those. No. Richarlison, just managing him and supporting his confidence and kind of
you don't need that.
His mood swings left, right, and centre.
I ain't got time.
We can't do that, man. If we get Solanke, I'm sending him around to Leo's.
Well, Richie's banging in the goals at the moment, Rich. Don't knock it.
Ricky's wearing what?
Richie.
Richie.
Richie's banging in the goals, so long way to continue.
He is for sure. Was he got
5 and 5 or 5 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing well. Ben Davies has just come out and said we showed fight spirit and stood up to the challenge. Sure. And at half-time, the fans got a chance to say a farewell to former club captain and goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Of course, Hugo Lloris is off to MLS side Los Angeles FC, a great servant, 7th in our all-time appearance list with 447 appearances in all competitions, 11 years at the club, 9 as captain, World Cup winner. Leo, let's start this with you. Your best memory of Hugo Lloris, because I'll tell you what, over the years, 447 appearances in all competitions, those saves in the Champions League, saves in key Premier League games, a real leader on the pitch. We're going to miss him, aren't we?
Definitely. When I remember when we first signed him, and I was like, how are we doing this? Like, he was the France goalkeeper. I was like, how is Tottenham getting this guy? And we were able to get him, and I was like, wow. And for me, he's always I've always felt assured because we had like a proper international world, like playing for France. France first team goalkeeper was playing on our team, and I always felt like it was an honor to have him play with us. And so he's been a great servant for Spurs. One of my great moments, I think it was probably a penalty save. I know he's done something.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
Aubameyang at Wembley against Arsenal. Yeah, you got the one against
that one. Because I tell you what happened. I've got a WhatsApp group full of Arsenal and Liverpool fans, right? And there was yapping. I remember that game when they got the penalty, and all of them were yapping. Oh, look at Spursy, all this. Aubameyang's the greatest player. This, he's gonna take out his Batman face and do his whatever. And obviously, I'm thinking, the worst. And then Hugo Lloris just pulls that save double. It was like a double thing, right? And I was like, yes, get him! And you can see all their faces. And that was my victory. That was my World Cup winning. That was my FA Cup. That was my league winning for that WhatsApp chat. So I will never forget that bit. So I always want to, I'll thank Lloris for giving us great times, because there's been so many chances that we thought were going to be goals, and he's just pulled it out the bag from nowhere. Just this left, right, incredible. So yeah, man, I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best in America. He's going to get his payday. I'm surprised he didn't go to Saudi Arabia to probably get 10 times the money. But, America is a better place to stay. I was going to say the weather's nice. The birds are nice, so even though he's married, but whatever. He, on the weekends, don't tell no one. But yeah, so I'm so happy for him. And I wish him all the best. But we have Vic now. So, long live the king. The king is dead. Long live the king.
Simone, your favourite memory of Hugo Lloris, and if you can keep it short, because we've got a lot to get through.
Okay.
Wow. There are a lot of memories because, of course, 2012, guys, we are talking about a giant for the club, and we need to remember him. We need to remember what he did for the club, because he could play. He could have been played for the best teams in the world. He could have won, just like he lifted up that World Cup. He could have played for the biggest teams in Europe. He played his whole career for Spurs, and I'm really, really grateful to him for him. My biggest memory, you just said that the shot against Arsenal, but in that occasion, Jan Vertonghen did something incredible in terms of
clearing the line.
So recovering the ball, and so I would say
that's teamwork.
A stop against Palace in the second season of the Mauricio Pochettino era, Tottenham Palace 1-0, the same game that saw Heung-min Sonny scoring his first game for the club. So I would say that he was an incredible keeper in the last decade. So I will always be stand by him and cheering his memories.
What about you, Rich?
So it won't be one moment. It'd be the last season at the old White Hart Lane, where we went undefeated, and obviously him, Jan, Toby, like proper force at the back for me. Was it just showed what a kind of a defensive unit should look like, and it proved, because we're obviously undefeated at home.
I tell you what, it was a really nice send-off for Hugo Lloris, and I'm so glad that happened, because I thought that at one time Hugo Lloris was just going to leave the football club and not have that chance to say bye to the fans. The fans give him a great send-off, so it was really nice. And Paul Coyte done a wonderful job asking him questions, and Ledley King also presented him with a gift from Tottenham, which was really, really nice. Rich, let's stay with you, because in the 52nd minute, in the second half now, what a chance for Richarlison. He hit it wide, but a great move from Tottenham, and Lo Celso setting him up yet again. But I know I don't want to be harsh on Richarlison, because as we've already said, he's scoring goals at the moment. He's in good form, probably the best form in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt since he signed from Everton, but he should have buried that.
Yeah, he also, the keeper was going down just as he was about to hit it, and because his head was down as well. The ball obviously came through, so the ball's coming from behind him. He's waiting for the ball to be at his feet to hit it, and if it had just took his head up and gone the other side, the keeper had already just gone down. He'd already committed, and I think, like you said, he would have buried that, and it would have put the game to bed a lot earlier. Richarlison is one of those players that does frustrate you. I think when he's got too much time, there's too much possibility of craziness. When it's comes to his feet like a rocket, he's got to react. He's going to score. He's better. He's better when he's reactive. When he's proactive, sometimes anything can happen.
Yeah.
Leo, do you want to add anything about Richarlison?
Yeah, I put some notes down while I was watching the game, but the thing about Richarlison, I've just got to say he's not good enough. Let's just say what it is. He works hard, that's for sure. You should see him running. The thing that he does well is works hard. He closes down really well, but that's about it. Every time he gets the ball, I feel like he's unable to hold it. He's very erratic. He loses the ball when we're in transitions. His decision making is poor. His passing is poor. This is him.
But this is his best period in a Spurs shirt.
No. Let's not gloss over his rubbishness. I'm just going to be real. The goal that he scored today, yes, he scored the goal, but let's not mask the fact that he was poor. He was poor today, and he missed great chances. The previous game, he had a great opportunity. If that was Kane, that would have been 2-0 up. We would have.
But it's not though, Leo.
But he's not.
They are huge boots to fill.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm spoiled. Let's just agree with that. We're spoiled with Kane. But the point is, we're seeing the difference between winning a game early and being comfortable, and then not having to stress too much. But those chances that Richarlison got, after all the hard work that the team does, his job is to put it away. And it's not like difficult chances where he has to beat 10 man, drop his shoulder, and this are clear-cut open chances. Great, he's getting into a position where he can get those chances, but he has to do his job and finish them. And he's not good. He's not good enough to do that. He's frustrated. He's frustrating to watch. When he plays, his head is down. He's too emotional. And for the team that I know Ange wants to build, Richarlison does not have a place in that lineup. And I'm no, he's not, Charles. Not at all. Hell to the no. Like I said, I'm going to say something towards the end of this podcast, Chris. So we'll talk about the overall team at the end. But yeah, just to quickly answer your question, Richarlison, for me, he scored his goal just as I was abusing him on my WhatsApp group. He scored, and then I was like, yeah, whatever. But he had a poor game today, and it's just the goal that he scored. Yes, he scored well, but yeah, I don't know. For me,
he's carrying an injury as well, isn't it?
I don't care for excuses. He can carry.
Leo, you're harsh, man.
No. He's a fake Brazilian. He's fake. Like he can't wear a number 9. He can't wear a number 9. Prancing around with his blonde hair. He should dye his hair normal, cut his hair off, and just focus on football and none of this chicken nonsense that he does. Dude, come on. Great players don't do stupidness when you're not banging in the goals. Bang in the goals first, then you could do chicken, you could do frog, you could do whatever animal you want. But you're not banging the goals, and you're doing all this nonsense.
Not the chicken.
Well, whatever it is, a cockerel or whatever. Like you're a twat. He does my head in. And I know probably fans are going to come at me, but he scored his goal. But don't get it twisted. I'm a bit pigeon. I'm really, it's frustrating because when Son leaves, we got Richarlison. And it's just, yeah.
And the pigeon.
Guys, it's not a main striker, Richarlison. It's never been.
He's not a striker.
Could play as a number 7, as a number 10 in a 4-4-2 because he was the one that in Everton shirt connected the Carvalho into the rest of the team. So I don't think he needs the responsibilities to score only him the goals. I think he's doing well. He's scoring his goals, and second year.
He's scoring the 4th goal. He's scoring the 4th goal. Like we're already winning, and he's scoring.
Let me just read this comment out.
He's got the first goal in 5 games,
bro.
Nah, mate.
Yeah.
Fake goals. Goals. It's fake goals.
Simone,
we know the truth.
Let's move on. We'll come back.
Sorry, good players punish. Good players punish.
You can talk about Richy whenever you wish, guys. And I can say many good things and many bad things about this kind of player. That
poor.
I frankly think he's good. He's good for Spurs.
Poor. Hell no.
Leo, there's 1 or 2 viewers with you, but mostly
trust me. I'm going to read something out. At the end of this, and then we'll see. We'll do the vote.
Okay. Simone, let's come to you. In the 58th minute, Bentancur came off, Højbjerg came on. Great to see. I know we've already spoken a little bit about Bentancur, but great to see him back in a Spurs shirt today. I won't remind you of your comments when he signed for us, what you said about him, but he has been fantastic in a Spurs shirt every single time he plays for us.
Well, just like I said to you many times, in Italy, we didn't see any kind of this evolution for Bentancur, any kind of potential for Bentancur, guys. When he was playing for Juventus, he wasn't that kind of player, and he didn't show any kind of potential that he could develop. So it was incredible, and I really loved the way he developed his game for Antonio Conte, for Tottenham, and today was great. It was great because it was, frankly, guys, it was a surprise. Because even as a journalist, I didn't expect him to play. I didn't expect him to play today, because we were waiting for him maybe in the late part of January, in the early stages of February. But it was a surprise, and I'm really delighted, because this guy, guys, deserves a lot, because in Antonio Conte's side, it was brilliant. He provided a lot Tottenham, and I'm really delighted to see him playing at this level for Spurs once again.
He's the reason. As simple as that.
He's the reason.
It has just been reported that Viles has just left the Spurs stadium on crutches with a brace on his right leg. So wishing him all of the very best and a speedy recovery. Rich, let's come to you. In the 60th minute, this was a big 10 minutes for Spurs and for Bournemouth, I feel, because in the 60th minute, a big chance, cross from the right, they missed it, wide of the post. In the 68th minute, Heung-min Son had a chance, didn't quite... he was through on goal. Excellent work from Lo Celso in the build-up, just didn't shoot. 3 minutes later, Lo Celso set him up again. Brilliant assist from him, and Heung-min Son made it 2-0. What an assist from Lo Celso. This is exactly what I mean about grabbing opportunities. When you see a Lo Celso do stuff like this, you want him in the team all the time, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously the difference between Richarlison and Sonny, where he's pinging them in off the post like he did with that finish. Massive difference when you've got a playmaker in the team that's able to unlock the door, play through the lines. Sonny's obviously somebody that's always looking to kind of get in and around their back three or back four, whatever it is, and kind of look for those openings. And one-on-one, Sonny only needs one or two of those, and he's going to take them for sure. And having a player like Maddison, Lo Celso, really does give you more options within the team around that creativity, which we haven't had before this season. Before this season, we were crying out for creative people that from the midfield could open those opportunities. It makes such a massive difference when you've got that finishing on the end, but you've got to get the ball into them. And obviously, Lo Celso was definitely encouraged and kind of working, obviously, in the training field to kind of be more proactive now that he's got a run of games. And consistency is key.
Absolutely.
Leo, let's come to you. Of course, Sonny got Tottenham's second goal in the 71st minute, as I said. He could now potentially miss up to 6 games for Spurs. 2 in the FA Cup if we get through to the 4th round, and 4 in the Premier League. If his country progresses in the competition and goes far, he could miss up to 6 games. It's going to be a big miss for us. And the other interesting question I was going to ask is, with Sonny gone, Maddison still out, Romero still out, who's going to be captain?
That's a good question. That is a good question. Who's going to be captain now?
Ben Davies.
Yeah, Ben Davies. I was going to say who's the guy. I think it'll probably be Ben Davies. Listen, yeah, it'll be Ben Davies. But you see that when we're talking about that goal, when you watch Match of the Day today, the ball's played up to Richarlison, who lost control of the ball, couldn't control it. It got ricocheted off the defender, went into Lo Celso, and he made the pass. And I was frustrated when that happened, but obviously we got the goal, which was fantastic. So Son's going to leave us for some games, and I was even thinking who is going to play that role, that striker role, and I was thinking is it going to be shitty Richarlison because he doesn't really carry. But then I said no, we might have to go into the market to find a striker. But I thought, okay, hold on, we have Valise. And I saw Valise's goal last week, and I saw the way, just his posture, the way that he was able to dip his shoulder and put that in. So I thought, you know, he might be a guy or potential to come in. This was a great opportunity for him also, knowing that Son's going to be away, knowing that it might just be him and Richarlison that he might have to fight for. And I know that Valise knows that Richarlison is not the guy. That's why he was crying, because Valise knew that this was his opportunity when all these players are out, for him to cement or try and show them the Tottenham manager that he's a contender to be striker. That's why he was devastated. If you're not going to cry and be devastated like that if you know that you're not really going to get games. He knew that this was his opportunity to shine, and it just went like that. You know, and you could tell the manager wanted that to happen for him. That's why he put him on with 10, 17 minutes to go, because he's like, say, yo, Willis, this is your opportunity. We've won the game now, no pressure. Go and show us what you want to do. And then he got injured. That's why he was devastated, because he knows, like I know, that Richarlison is not the guy. And today was his opportunity. But I don't know who's going to think he's going to take it now. He might have to go into the market.
Well, let's talk about Richarlison again, because in the 73rd minute, Skip crossed to Richarlison, goalkeeper saved. And then in the 80th minute, Richarlison made it 3-0. Johnson crossing, Richarlison finishing. Simone, Richarlison's scoring the goals at the moment. Who can be moaning about, when a striker's scoring goals, who can be moaning?
No, it's 3-0. Game's done already. Done. He could have made it 3-0 earlier. He could have made it 2-0 in the 50th minute. The game's done. You're 3-0.
Just like I said to you, Richarlison is not a mid-striker, guys.
Thank you, Simone.
He's number 7. He's a number 10. He can play as a second striker behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin for Everton. Because yes, but he's not
truth, brother.
You don't have to judge him just on how he scores goals. Because, of course, if you are looking at the last year, for Spurs, he was a disaster, but he's still a good player. He still provides the team a lot. And then, of course, guys, if you lose the best striker in the world, that for me will never be Holland, but he's gonna be Harry Kane. Guys, it's an impossible job for everyone. It's absolutely impossible to substitute Harry Kane. And okay,
yeah, you can still hold up the ball, though. You don't have to be Harry Kane to hold up the ball.
Okay, that's true. That's absolutely true. But I don't think Callum Wilson for Newcastle is gonna be better than Richarlison.
I don't think either. We're just talking about Richarlison.
Well, I think he certainly got the goal that won us the game.
Guys, there are many seconds that are nowhere near the level of Richarlison. So, guys, I'm gonna keep my reach.
All right, okay.
In the 82nd minute, Postecoglou made a treble change. Lo Celso, Richarlison and Johnson all going off. Eric Dyer, Viles and Brian Hill all coming on. In the 84th minute, Bournemouth got a goal back through Alex Scott, a player that we have been linked with in many transfer windows, but ended up signing for Bournemouth. Højbjerg crossed, Brian Hill hit the bar late on. Bournemouth thought that they got another one back. That got disallowed. Rich, what did you make of the last couple of minutes?
More craziness, right? More craziness. Like, and you looked at some of the players as well. I was like, why is he up front? And then, why? There was no fluidity on the team, and there was no kind of right. Last 10 minutes, let's just play safe. Let's defend. Let's not just kind of let them come on to us, but let's make sure we defend properly and stay in your positions. There wasn't any of that. And then, obviously, they scored. Our friend Eric Dyer came on, and I think he just disappeared. And then Scott ghosted in, tapped it in, and then I was like, here we go again. Like, carnage starting. And then, obviously, Valise went down to 10 men for about 10, 15 minutes. And we're lucky enough that, obviously, we held it as 3-1. I think the last 10 minutes for me, a lot of the players were on empty. A lot of the players. And I think it's not just energy levels that it affects. It affects decision making as well. Like stupid passes, especially defending. You look at like leaving a player at the back post free, like we have done. So the left or the right backs like just disappeared. And I'm going, there's so many times where the ball's crossed in, and then we've got left back, 2 centre backs, right backs in the next city. It's like, where is he? And we're creating those problems. The last 10 minutes today against a better team, we'd have been punished, I think.
Punished, yeah.
We'd have been put for sure. But it's not all Richarlison's fault, man.
No, it's not Richarlison's fault.
It's
I
not.
was going to say, Rich, we know the empty feeling, don't we, being fellow marathon runners?
We definitely do. Look at Chris. I remember that, right?
Right, let's come on to the January transfer window. This is what Ange Postecoglou had to say on the January transfer window. I'll get your thoughts in a second.
We are where we are, and I think the transfer window. Look, nothing magical is going to happen in a January window. What we need to do is just keep building. We've had one window with this team to change it around, to do things differently, and like I said, the fact we're in the position we are is a credit to the players that through all the sort of challenges we've had, we just get ploughing forward, and that's what we'll do. We'll see what we can do in January, but ultimately it's about building a side that will get us to where we want to.
Rich, let's start with you. Ange said that nothing magical is going to happen in the January transfer window, but I believe that transfers will happen and he will get players in the door. In your opinion, what do Spurs need to do as an absolute minimum to back Ange in this window, which opens in just over 6 hours, by the way?
Yeah, we're not going back online, are we, in 5.5 hours to pre-plan who we're going to buy.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. I think definitely a centre-back, obviously. And we need to look towards a striker. But I think the striking option, because if you're looking for that world-class player, you're looking for that player, are they available now? Probably not. And are you going to get them at the price that we're willing to pay? Probably not in January. I'd like probably 2 centre-backs. That's what I'd like. I would like 2 centre-backs as a bare minimum. We've got cover in most of the positions, apart from that striker role that obviously Kane vacated. 2 centre-backs is a definite need, because I feel that we'll replace Dyer when he goes, and then we'll add a new face in that centre-back role, which will make us super strong when everybody's fit, and give us flexibility so that we're not having to play like 2 games in that week. We can rotate those centre backs around, which at the moment, that's the reason why players are so fatigued, they're overtraining, overworked, and that's why a lot of these hamstring, stroke, Achilles injuries are actually happening, because of the players are literally on their last legs.
Literally.
Leo, what do we need to do in the January window?
I agree with Rich. Definitely 2 defenders for sure. That's we've got some. Obviously, when our players come back, that'll be great. But we definitely need 2 defenders and a striker. We definitely need someone that get those chances and punish. Because it makes the difference. Once you score that goal, the whole team can just relax a bit, feel more confident, and we get into so many great chances, especially in the first 20 minutes of games where we're just missing it or we're not composed. If we had someone in that position that can just bang and show the quality, then it would be so much easier for us. So with 2 defenders and a striker minimum.
Definitely somebody that can hold up the ball. I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Simone, let's come to you on the January transfer window. Is it likely now that Spurs are going to get this deal done for Genoa centre-back Radu Dragusin?
They are trying. The news is that the breaking news of today is that they are trying really. They decided to move on and to try to offer a deal, and then Genoa didn't early in this January transfer window, but didn't want to sell him necessarily. But of course, 25, maybe 30 million pounds of euros. We are talking about something that can afford Genoa to open their ears and to sell him, because 30 million pounds for a club that is a middle table team in Serie A could be an option that Genoa cannot refuse. the ideas, the main target for Tottenham, I completely agree with Richy and Leo. But I think that the main striker could be an option for maybe July or June. So I think it's a task for next summer, not for now. Now, Big Ange wants to go on with his players. I don't know if it's enough, because of course Premier League is Premier League. There are the likes of Newcastle and Man U that one day or another will be back to fight for top 4. There is, of course, Aston Villa that are doing something incredible. Tottenham is there, and of course they will try till the very end to finish in top 4, maybe top 5, because of course with the new rules of UEFA, that could be a good chance to finish into the Champions League with a 5th place.
Now, before I ask the three of you your favourite memory of 2023 supporting and following Tottenham Hotspur, we're going to hear from former England and Tottenham centre-back Neil Ruddock on how he is enjoying handball right now.
Hello, Chris and everyone at the Spurs Chat podcast. Super Razor Ruddock here. Hope you're doing well. So what I think of the Spurs, I'm loving the Spurs at the minute. It's, for years, the way they're playing, if they get beat, I'm still happy because they're having a go. You know what I'm saying, yeah? They're having a go. That's what Spurs do. They've done it since year dot. As long as they're having a go, because football fans, we ain't stupid. If your team are having a go, trying their hardest. If they get beat, unlucky. If they win, God bless you. They're trying their hardest. And Big Ange, it's like your favourite uncle, isn't he? Big Ange I'd have loved to play for him. He would have loved me as a player. So listen, keep the faith. God bless you all. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Chris, see you soon, my old mate. Love you loads. Come on, you Spurs.
Leo, Neil Ruddock sounds like you. As excited as you about.
Yeah, listen, I know Neil. We play football, like charity football games together, and we always have a laugh in the pub afterwards. Yeah, so it's funny what you're saying, but I agree with him, and I definitely agree that Andrew would have loved him. He's that sort of player that likes to get stuck in. Yeah, so I agree, 100%.
Leo, what's your favourite memory of supporting Spurs in 2023? Because if I was to say, I think it's going to be the appointment of Ange Postecoglou and just the way that he has transformed this football club and transformed the way that we all feel about the club again, which is great.
Yeah, you know what? Thinking about it, because I was actually thinking, is their game, is their moment? But you're absolutely right, because like I said, when we played that game against West Ham, I couldn't believe what I was watching. You know, the football was delicious. It was beautiful. You know, the way we were passing, and it was like someone breathed life into this team, and the shackles were off, and we were able to just play good football. And even when we lose, we're still playing great football. And it was a testament when we were down to 9 men against Chelsea. I could have been so proud. I was at the end of the game. I was happy. We lost 4, and I'm still happy. What the hell is that all about? So yeah, I think just this moment right now, the whole Ange appointment is the best feeling that I've had so far. And Chris is getting kicked out. I can see the someone's behind him chasing him now.
It's out of the nightclub again.
Get out of it. Yeah, but yeah, no, this has been it for me. I think the Ange appointment, and also the players, the way that the players have responded to the way that we're playing, I think that's been great. Like the resurgence of Bissouma that's come back, all of that. This gives me so much joy. Udogie coming in, Van der Ven just out of nowhere, Vicario out of when we didn't even want Vicario. It was like
Vicario was out of nowhere, guys. Yeah. Miggy already was a good defender in Germany. So I think that in UK, Vicario was the one that came out of nowhere, and no one apart from us in Italy knows how good he was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. Rich, what about you? I didn't know about Vicario or
no one in UK. I had so many guys, so many friends in England, and always who is Vicario? Yeah. Vicario was a monster. I always say that.
Really? Yeah, we didn't think anything. We wanted that Arsenal
Yeah.
striker, what's his name?
Yeah.
But yeah. And like we didn't get him. I was like, oh, we're settling for this guy. And then look at that.
Yeah, no,
Unbelievable.
The true, guys, is that maybe Italian football is not at the same level of 20 years ago, but Italian goalkeepers, guys, are always there, are always the same, are there. Donnarumma, Provedel, Merevi, Chiario, Montipo. We are talking about really in Italy. We've got really huge keepers.
Yeah. So
we've got a good school.
Yeah, for me it was.
Go ahead.
It was more about the conversation that Big Ange had with Maddison around if you don't sign for us, you'll see a different Spurs next season anyway. I think that for me was the reassurance I needed that we weren't going to have the same Mourinho / Conte football that we hated, that we proper hated. And then also signing Maddison, which I've been crying out for a Maddison signing since Eriksen was going out the door of Spurs. I was crying out for that replacement. We needed that as fans. We need to have a player like Maddison that still is like you said, Chris, only played 10 games, but still hasn't showed that true potential yet. He hasn't scored those free kick goals that he did for Leicester. He's started to light up the stadium, but we know he can do a lot more.
We will actually do a Burnley preview show rather than do it now, so we will do that sometime next week. But we'll ask you for your predictions for the FA Cup game next Friday. Rich, let's start with you.
Well, hopefully he plays the strongest team he can play. And that's just going to depend on injuries, really, and fatigue that's in the players. Skippy's going to play. I think there was a comment that Ange made around that he's probably the freshest legs out of the squad. And just hopefully sticks as close to the first team as possible, because we need to have a good one in the FA Cup for sure. And a good one in the FA Cup would mean that when we get the better players back, it will give us a great opportunity to go really deep in the competition. And we all know that we need to have a trophy in the cabinet at some point, and the FA Cup gives us that great opportunity. So I would say a 2-1 win.
Rich, awkward question for you. If you had to choose winning the FA Cup or top 4 Champions League football, what would it be?
Wow. So I've got a theory behind it. Okay, win the FA Cup momentum, and you take that momentum into the season after. That would be my that would lift the fans. That would lift the team. It'd take that tag off us. I think winning the FA Cup would do a massive thing for the team. And if we're 5th, we might still get in the Champions League anyway.
Well put. Leo, what are you going for? Burnley game next Friday.
Burnley have been pretty poor, so I think we should win that game. I don't think he's going to play his best team as we can, purely because we don't have the players. We can't, and everyone's on the floor. Even Valise came on. He's not even playing, but God knows what they're doing in training. But he only did 5 minutes and he's finished. It's like, mate. I don't know. So he's definitely not going to play the full team, because he's going to want to keep the momentum up for the league. But I do agree with what Rich is saying, though. We do want to get far into this competition, because obviously when we get our players back, it gives us so much of a greater opportunity to win something. So we can have our cake and eat it, which is a trophy and top 4. So he's that balance, is Ange going to risk playing the strongest team he can just to get into that great position with the potential of getting 5 or 6 more injuries? Or is he going to tweak it a little bit and just put a team that he knows could do the damage against Burnley and put us in a great opportunity for the new players to come in and for us to thrive when all the pieces come together? So, but we'll definitely win, hopefully next week, yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll be more delicious football, as you put, Leo.
Absolutely.
Simone, will Spurs take the FA Cup more seriously than we did the League Cup? And what is your score prediction?
I don't think Daniel Levy wants it. I don't think Daniel Levy will be the main boss to Big Ange to prioritize a top 4 spot than the FA Cup. And this is the problem of the last 10, 20, 30 years. So I would love to see Tottenham lifting up some cups, domestic cups, because of course the tradition of the club is immense in terms of winning the domestic cups. But you know, the chairman is the chairman, and he has everything to say, I want that or I want another. So we'll see. I think that Tottenham will beat Burnley. I don't think Tottenham will go very, very straight in this competition.
Yeah.
Simone, thank you so much for your time this evening. Great to have you back on, and thanks for your insight to Ragusin yesterday. What's coming up for you? What will you be doing in 2024?
Of course, many things has to happen, Chris. You know, I'm between Rome and Milan. I'm in Italy, and I will go up and down. So everything can happen. I'm delighted to be part of your team, and you know, guys, every time that you need me, I'm always be there, of course.
Well, thank you so much. Great to have you on, and Happy New Year to you, Simone. Richard, thanks so much. As normal, you've been a great guest, as per usual. And what's coming up for you in 2024?
So marathons early on in the year. So Tokyo, Boston, and London in the first 4 or 5 months. So yeah, busy training for that. Trying to lose a little bit of timber, get faster, get stronger, and then. Mate, are you in the shitter? Is that where you are? I thought you were in the door of the nightclub. That's where. Imagine if he was in the bathroom. I thought I heard somebody.
I'm standing outside an empty stadium. So hurry up.
If anybody's passing the stadium, can you just give him a lift, because he needs to get home. He needs to get home before New Year's Day. Oh, she can give you a lift. She can give you a lift behind you.
So, Rich, where can people find you as well?
Marathon Champ or wherever. Just look social media, you'll find me. But I just remind everybody, you need to support Chris as well. Chris puts loads of content out on his channel, so please subscribe and kind of follow all Chris's stuff, because he does such a great job for the team and makes this whole experience for all the fans so much better. So well done, Chris, and keep up the good work, mate.
Richard, thank you so much for coming on so many times during 2023. Really appreciate your support. Happy New Year to you. And Leo, great to have you back on. Hopefully we can get you back on again soon.
Absolutely.
What's next for Leo the Lion?
Well, 2024 is going to be a big year. I've got a lot of film stuff coming out, which is going to be great. Some Disney stuff that I did earlier, which is going to be dropping 2024, end of 2024, which is good. But yeah, I'm just now at the moment, I'm just enjoying Spurs, and I said I wanted to do something before when we just a little gift for the Spurs fans out there, guys, because I don't think we appreciate where we are right now. We really need to understand the power that we have, right? So I'm going to list out our potential first team. And I'm going to read out the names, and you just tell me how you feel when I say these names. Vicario, good. Udoji, what are we saying? Van der Ven, what are we saying?
That's
Romero,
yeah.
Romero, Pedro, Bissouma, Sarr, Madison, Bentancur, Brendan Johnson, Richarlison, Kulusevski, Son. Look at that team. Imagine we had all these players available right now. It's a powerful, strong team. And it's going to get better because the window is about to open in 6 hours. So as a Spurs fan, we need to fully understand that we're in a great position. We've got Ange as well. We're playing superb football. And this is our chance for us to even create something special, something magical. So Happy New Year, guys. A great win. Arsenal lost, which even makes it even juicier. So well done, and I can't wait to see you guys on the other side. Thank you, Chris, for having me. I've had a great time.
Leo, thank you so much. Great to have you back on. Richard, Simone, Leo, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening. And if you don't subscribe to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button. thank you so much for all of your support during 2023. It's really, really appreciated. And I will see you on the next podcast in 2024. Come on, you Spurs.
Cheers.